On Global TV News Express, the armed forces of Nigeria intensify efforts to curb insurgency. In business, IPG and PRC strengthen ties to drive transparency, oil production. And on the foreign scene, Global Airline cancel flights to Middle East after Israel hits Iran. And in sport, Thomas Frank appointed Tottenham Hotspur head coach. Vision coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV 65 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's dedication to democratic governance as Nigerians marks 26 years of uninterrupted civilian rule. Speaking at a joint session of the National Assembly, the president hailed June 12 as a symbol of national resilience and justice. He also honored Chief Moshood Abiola and other pro-democracy heroes, while dismissing fears of one-party state, assuring Nigerians of a thriving multi-party system. Queen Agaba has details.
At this point, I plead for your indulgence so that I may put a terrible rumor to bed. To those who ring the alarm that the APC is intent on a one-party state, I offer you a most personal promise. While your alarm may be as a result of their panic, it rings an error. At no time in the past, nor any instance in the present, and at no future junction, shall I view the
digital infrastructure and industrial growth as key priorities and praised the National Assembly and Armed Forces for their continued support, while calling on all Nigerians to uphold the core values of June 12, freedom, equity, and accountability as the country charts a course towards progress.
Our administration is fully committed to boosting the economy and productive base through investment in critical infrastructure, roads, expansion of port operations, rail, and power. We are creating a new environment in which industry and manufacturing can thrive.
The President of the Senate, in his remarks, framed the event as a symbol of national unity, institutional synergies, and constitutional development, while affirming executive and legislative collaboration.
President of the Senate, I reaffirm the
agenda aligned with economic, constitutional, and participatory reforms.
Our determination is unequivocal to expedite and finalize the constitutional amendment process by December 2025. Some of our priorities include special reserved seats for women, formal constitutional roles for traditional rulers, and legal backing for a 35
posted. National Association of Nigerian Students, Olushola Oladoja, who also participated in the work, says it is the first time Nigerian students are getting loans and monthly stipends from government to enable them go through school.
This is democracy, 26 years ago of democracy. This is the first time that we are having the highest budget in education. And this is the first time again that we are having an establishment of student loan, NENFund, and that have drastically reduced the dropout of students from campuses because of school fees. Because to the student, for them to enable them get something to eat, transport to schools, and it's a wonderful thing that we've never experienced in this country before.
The national president, Niger Delta Student Union government, Keme Romeo joined his voice to that of other student leaders to thank the president, especially for the pipeline security contract to secure the pipelines safe at the Niger Delta.
In the Niger Delta, we see a lot of things President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done for, especially in terms of the oil and gas pipeline security contract he gave to our boss, Chief Government Ebonpolo, aka Tompolo, through the Tantita Security Services Limited. It is something that has lifted a lot of students and youth in the Niger Delta, something that has empowered a lot of us. So it is better if they are to Mr. President today.
Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News. The Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria, Ondo State Branch, commenced an indefinite strike effective grounding judicial activities across the state. Judges, lawyers, and litigants were denied access to court premises, bringing legal proceedings to a standstill. According to the report, entrances to both the Akure Division of the State High Court and the Magistrate Court were firmly locked, stopping all operations within and around the complexes. Ondo Johnson Chairman Oluwafemi Afolabi, who confirmed the industrial the 7-day ultimatum to the state government was given a week ago. Lassa fever is surging again across Nigeria, with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention confirming a higher death rate and more infection despite ongoing public health interventions. In its latest situation report for Epidemiological Week 22, May 26 to June 1, the NCDC said 8 new confirmed cases were recorded in Ondo, Bauchi, Edo, and Nasarawa states, representing a slight rise from 6 cases reported in the previous week. It said that so far in 2025, Nigeria has reported 747 confirmed cases and 142 deaths, making a case fatality rate of 19.0%, a concerning increase from 18.1% recorded during the same period in 2024. The Armed Forces of Nigeria, Marcus Kange, made this known while addressing journalists on the operational activities of the Armed Forces in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kenge, reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of the armed forces to fostering a climate of safety and security that transcend all regions of diverse nations through proactive measures and vigilant monitoring. He added that in the week under review, scores of terrorists comprising adult males and females, as well as operational tempo heightened up during the week.
Operation Delta Safe, fuel oil theft, worth over 140.
The director reveals that troops of Operation Delta Safe sustained operational tempo against crude oil thieves and other criminals in the Niger Delta during the week under review and destroyed lots of illegal refining sites.
3 kidnapped victims were rescued. The troops also recovered arms and ammunition, as well as improvised explosive devices making materials. Motorcycles, vehicles, among others, were also recovered. Terrorist camp and equipment were burned in situ. The troops also arrested 5 terrorist logistics suppliers, collaborators, and a Chinese national claiming to be a miner during a well-coordinated operations conducted in Kukawa and Gala local government areas of Borno State.
The military high command, however, solicits for cooperation of the populace in line with the non-kinetic operations in a collective effort to safeguard the nation. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
There will be intellectual property protection put in place to protect Nigerian creatives. While speaking during a panel session at the 68th UN Tourism Commission for Africa with the theme, boosting social impact and education in tourism through innovation, AI and creative industries in Africa. Musawa said that the ministry has initiated policies on intellectual property, including creative economy and cultural policies. According to a statement, she also noted that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is working hard to ensure that Nigerians become the world's #1 in tourism destinations. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express return, federal government to revoke dormant oil licenses within new policy. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sport stories on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Welcome back from that break. Let's take you straight to the world of business, where the Minister of Works, David Umahi, says those criticizing him over LMS section of the East-West Road in Rivers State recently commissioned are faceless. Engineer Umahi said the same section of the road was awarded for 156 billion naira by the past administration, but that work on the project never started. The minister stated complete restructuring work on the road began when President Bola Tinubu came to office and gave approval for work to commence immediately, saying the president deserved commendation for that show of courage. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has told oil producers that it is set to implement the drill or drop policy. The chief executive of the commission, Gbenga Komolafe, disclosed this when he received a delegation from the Independent Petroleum Producers Group at the commission's headquarters in Abuja recently. A statement by the commission says Komolafe emphasized that oil and gas producers must either begin production within a specific time frame or relinquish their licenses. He stated that the policy aimed to revitalize the oil sector, ensure optimal use of assets, and boost government revenue. Meanwhile, the chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, has reiterated the commission's dedication to creating an enabling business environment, regulating reforms, and boosting investors' confidence. A statement signed by the spokesperson for the NUPRC stated that Komolafe made this known when he recently welcomed a delegate, Walter Smith Group, an indigenous oil and gas company. And on the foreign scene, Israel's military says Iran has fired about 100 drones towards its territory, many of which were intercepted after Israel carried out waves of strike on Iran overnight. The have been killed. Iran, however, stated that 6 scientists have been killed, with reports that civilians, including children, are among the dead. Civilians, including children, are among the dead. In the meantime, James said he had been briefed by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about the raid. Global Airlines cancelled flights to Tel Aviv, Tehran, and other Middle East destinations on routed places as airspace shut following Israeli strike on Iran. Israel, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, and Syria closed their airspace after Israel hit military and nuclear facilities in Iran. Israel said Tehran launched drones in retaliation. Emirates, the Middle East's largest airline, said it had cancelled flights to and fro Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Iran after Israel launched the strikes. And on from the world of sport, 12 Nigerian fencers have begun campaign ahead of the 2025 African Fencing Championship, which will be hosted in Lagos from June 25 to 29. Nigeria's 12-member team for the tournament are trained forms part of a strategic 4-year partnership between the Nigerian Fencing Federation and the Italian Fencing Federation. Installment of the 2025 Diamond League makes its schedules stop in the city of Stockholm, Sweden on Sunday. The 26-year-old, who recently emerged as the winner of the event during the 4th leg of the Diamond League met in Rabat, Morocco, will not be involved in her favored discipline after her name was not featured among other athletes in the official start list released for the race. The event, which will be held at the Stockholm Olympic Stadium, will see an array of stars compete on both track and field discipline as they continue preparation ahead of the World Athletics Championships set to be held in Tokyo, Japan in September. Thomas Frank says he had left a big piece of his heart at Brentford after taking on the daunting task of reviving Tottenham's Premier League fortune. Spurs announced the Dane as their new head coach on a 3-year deal on Thursday as a replacement for the sacked Ange Postecoglou. Frank, 51, won 136 of his 317 matches across 7 years at Brentford, taking them into the Premier League in 2021. As we end the Global TV News Express, let's take a look at our top stories. The Armed Forces of Nigeria says it's intensifying efforts in executing meticulously planned strategic operations that will effectively decimate potential threats and uphold peace within the borders. And in business, we're told that the chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, has reiterated the Commission's dedication to creating an enabling business environment, regulatory reforms, and boosting investors' confidence